Hi, I'm Tom Uskup with GreenSorb. Welcome to GreenSorb TV, and what we're here today to do is another in our series of product demos, and this one's in aviation. We wanted to do this in an airplane hangar, so what we have here is a number of airplanes. Of course, there's a Caravan over there and a Pilatus. We chose to do this example in front of this King Air because it's a very recognizable aircraft. This is a King Air F-90. This is a well-known, well-used aircraft used internationally as well as domestically. It's a turboprop airplane, so it uses Jet-A fuel, which is kerosene, and it also uses Skydrol among other fluids. Skydrol is a hydraulic fluid that's used in servicing these types of aircraft. It's a pretty caustic fluid. It gets on your hands. It can irritate your hands and your skin pretty badly, and so it's considered a caustic fluid. So what we're going to do today is show you a couple of these fluids in a spill environment, and we're going to demonstrate our product GreenSorb because we've done some testing in the lab recently. We found that it works very well, passes all the EPA testing on Skydrol and Jet-A fluid. These are the predominant fluids used in aviation. We want to get this message out to all of our aviation customers. So we'll go down here. What we have here is a typical apparatus that's used in larger operations for servicing aircraft with Skydrol or hydraulic fluid. And we have a typical 1-gallon container of it that you can get from most places. One of our distributors, SkyMart, actually offers Skydrol on their website for sale. So we're going to go ahead and pour some of this out on the floor in front of here and just give you an example of that. So there's typical overspill situation, and then we're going to pull out some kerosene. This is a clear liquid, of course. Don't want to drink it. I mean, it's definitely Jet-A kerosene fuel. We're going to pour that in the middle here. It's liquid. It's going to spill out a little bit more thinly than the thicker oil. So we're going to put that back over here. And so what we have here to do our demo with is GreenSorb. This is our GS 4-pound shaker bottle that we use. We sell this on a regular basis. This is a very convenient size to carry with you in your baggage compartment or in your airplane. And you can use it real quickly on the ramp if you have a spill in that scenario, which if you're not in a hangar, typically if you're in aviation, you're out on the ramp. And if you have this, you can address a spill like this and no problem very quickly. We also have our GS 10 size. This is also it's a 10-pound container that's also easily fit into most baggage compartments or anywhere in the aircraft. The other thing about GreenSorb is beyond working on just oils and fuels, it also works really well on food spills, that you might have in the cabin of the aircraft. So right now what we're going to do is just go ahead and spread some of the GreenSorb out. And we're just going to cover the spill. And we found in our testing, our lab testing that we just completed again recently, that the lab guys are telling us that for these types of fluids that we're testing it on here today, that approximately 2 to 2.25 pounds of GreenSorb will work to sufficiently encapsulate these types of spills and to make them safe to handle. So we're just spreading a film here to cover. I mean, that's our instruction typically for spills, is to cover the spill with GreenSorb and then to mix it in. And so that's what we're going to do next. We have our trusty blue and whisk broom here, our dustpan that we've used in other examples. So we're just going to allow the GreenSorb to get exposed to the spill, and that's all we're doing now. Is we're just the particle is the type of particle that actually does absorb the GreenSorb when the spill soaks into the GreenSorb particle. And so all we're doing is we're giving the GreenSorb a chance to have contact with the spill so it can draw the spill in and absorb it and encapsulate it. And so you can see that the GreenSorb is working because it's turning a darker shade of color here from the original tan state. And so you can see that probably I've used more GreenSorb than I might need, but just to be on the safe side to make sure that it does encapsulate well, that's what we do. So you can see that by sweeping it back and forth that it's It's sweeping back fairly easily now. The floor is dry where the spill was. There's nothing there on the floor, and the GreenSorb has absorbed both the Skydrol and the Jet-A fluid. So all we're going to do now is we're just going to take it and sweep it into our dustpan here. Try to do a good job so maintenance guy doesn't get too upset with me for making a little bit of a mess, but actually it's just the process of sweeping it up. And now, once we've swept up the GreenSorb, you can see that there's a lot of it here that's still quite tan in color. You could actually reuse this GreenSorb by storing it in like a 5-gallon plastic pail that's around the shop, and you could use this to handle a little bit more of a spill because it's obviously got quite a bit more that it can take. So the other thing about Skydrol, as I said earlier, is that it's a caustic fluid. And you know, what we found is that you can pick this up, and I had a little bit of Jet-A fluid on my hand still from earlier when I poured it out. It spilled on my fingers, so I can just mix this stuff in and just kind of take that Jet-A fluid off my fingers, and it has done that quite nicely. So anyways, this is Tom Uska. This is another example of aviation fluids that we wanted to, get in touch with our aviation customers about, show them how GreenSorb worked in action. GreenSorb will work on hydraulic fluids and jet fluids, jet fuels, and so we wanted to show that to you. And I'm, again, Tom Uska with GreenSorb.com, and thanks for watching GreenSorb TV.